Welcome to our deep dive today. We're going to be looking at an article that really kind of made me stop and think about something that we hear constantly in the corporate world, and that is empathy.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're going to be exploring an article today by Sylvia Ola,
Mm-hmm.
and it was published by the Strengths Company.
Mm.
She's a leader state expert,
Okay.
and she has some pretty strong opinions about how the corporate world has really just glommed onto empathy
Mm.
as like this must-have leadership trait.
Yeah.
And, she argues that maybe, just maybe, this whole push for empathy is not all it's cracked up to be.
Right.
So let's unpack it. Let's go through her arguments here.
So what really struck me about Ola's piece is that it really challenges this narrative that we hear everywhere in corporate leadership training and development.
Yeah, it's like everywhere you turn.
It's everywhere. It's all about like empathetic leadership.
Yeah, but is there really anything to it? I mean, that's what she's questioning.
Right. Exactly. She's like, where is the actual proof
Yeah.
that empathy directly correlates to good leadership? She even asks in the article, where's the scientific evidence linking empathy to leadership success?
Yeah.
So it's a pretty bold question to ask, and it's one that a lot of these leadership development programs just kind of gloss over.
Yeah, they just kind of skip right over that.
Yeah.
And it's not even just about the lack of evidence. It's also about how there's this failure to, like, even define what empathy means in a leadership context.
Yeah.
Like, how much is enough?
Right.
How do you even measure it?
Yeah, that lack of clarity, I think, can create a really confusing situation for leaders.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially those that are, being told that they need to be more empathetic, but they're not given any real guidance on what that actually looks like.
Yeah, it's like, okay, be more empathetic, but like, how?
Yeah,
What am I supposed to do?
exactly.
And it almost feels like this push for empathy without the tools or the framework to even understand it can lead to more self-doubt than actual growth.
And that's what she's saying. That's precisely the point that Ola's making in this article, is that, she calls it this decade of misinformation, and she says it's actually done damage to people.
Wow.
Leaders are questioning their own abilities, and they feel inadequate because they don't necessarily have this, like, emotional response that's expected of them in every situation.
Right.
So it really kind of creates this
Like almost an imposter syndrome.
exactly imposter syndrome. And she even goes as far to say, we have fed people with so much nonsense in the world of corporations that now we need to spend time correcting the decade of misinformation and the damage it did to people.
Wow, that's a really powerful statement.
Yeah.
And it really underscores how this kind of vague and unsubstantiated messaging can have this negative impact.
Absolutely.
So it's not to say that she's saying that empathy is a bad thing,
Mhm.
because she acknowledges that it's an important part of human connection and understanding.
Right.
But it's the way it's presented and almost weaponized that she takes issue with.
It's the application of it that's the problem.
Right.
Exactly. So what do you think is driving this whole push for empathy in the first place?
Well, she suggests that maybe it's not entirely about the well-being of the employees or developing truly effective leaders.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe corporations are pushing this narrative because it makes them look good.
Okay.
It makes them appear more human-centered,
Mm-hmm.
maybe even deflect criticism.
Yeah, like we're the good guys.
Exactly.
It's a very cynical view,
Yeah,
but it's certainly something to consider.
it is.
Especially, like you said, we're being bombarded with this message about empathy,
Yeah,
but who benefits and at what cost?
Yeah, that's something I think every listener should really reflect on in their own work environment.
Yeah, and that's really where the value of her article lies. It's this call to action to think critically about these narratives that we're being fed,
Absolutely.
especially in the workplace, where these narratives can really impact our careers and even our self-worth.
Yeah, it's about going beyond these buzzwords
Right.
and really looking at the substance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's recognizing that maybe this one-size-fits-all approach to empathy isn't serving anyone,
Mm-hmm.
especially if it's leading to more anxiety and self-doubt than actual growth.
Right. And you know what I think is really interesting is she makes this point about how we need to address this misinformation,
Yeah.
especially for people who might have internalized this idea that they have to be more empathetic
Right?
to be a successful leader.
It's like we've created this empathy anxiety
Yeah.
where people feel this pressure to perform empathy
Yeah.
in a way that might not even be authentic to them.
Exactly. And you know what that performative empathy can do?
What about that?
That can actually undermine genuine connection and trust.
Right, because you can kind of see through it
Exactly.
if it's not genuine.
Right. And, those are really essential
Yeah.
for effective leadership and
Huh?
teamwork.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So, one thing that I found really helpful in this article is that she actually breaks down empathy into different types.
Yeah.
So she doesn't just completely dismiss the whole concept.
Right.
She dives into it a little bit deeper.
Yeah, she talks about cognitive empathy, which is really about understanding another person's perspective.
Yeah.
Then there's emotional empathy, which is like sharing in their feelings.
Mm-hmm.
And then compassionate empathy, which focuses on actually taking action to help.
Right. So it's not just this one thing.
No.
There are different ways to think about it.
Exactly.
And I think that breakdown is really crucial
Yeah.
because it allows us to see that empathy isn't this one-size-fits-all concept.
Right.
Like there are different ways to experience and express empathy.
Yeah, and you know what's really neat about that?
What?
Is it allows individuals to start to identify their own strengths
Oh, okay.
and how they naturally connect with and support other people.
Right.
Like maybe you're someone who's really good at understanding different perspectives.
Yeah.
Or maybe you're more action-oriented
Mhm.
in your approach to helping others.
It's about figuring out how you do it naturally
Exactly.
rather than trying to fit into some mold that's been predetermined for you.
And I think that's a really empowering message for leaders
Oh, absolutely.
who might be feeling inadequate
Yeah.
or unsure about their own approach to empathy. It's a reminder that you don't have to be like outwardly emotional
Right.
to be an effective leader.
Not everybody's the same.
No.
Yeah. And it also challenges this whole idea that empathy is something you either have or you don't.
Right.
Like you're either an empathetic person or you're not.
Yeah.
And Ola seems to suggest that it is something we can learn and develop,
Uh-huh.
but it requires a more nuanced and personalized approach
Yes.
than what we typically get in these corporate settings.
Definitely. So if we're kind of moving away from this narrow focus on empathy as like the defining characteristic of good leadership,
Yeah, like what else should we be looking at?
that's a great question.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Ola's article is prompting us to consider.
Hmm.
If empathy alone isn't the answer,
Right.
what else is needed
Yeah.
to navigate all the complexities of today's work environment?
I think one thing that often gets overlooked is critical thinking.
Absolutely.
It can't just be about feeling what others feel.
Mm-hmm.
It's about being able to analyze situations,
Right.
identify biases,
Yes.
make sound judgments,
Uh-huh.
but also consider the well-being of your team.
And her article is a great example
Right,
of
yeah.
critical thinking in action.
She really puts it out there.
Yeah, she's not just accepting what everybody else is saying. She's
Yeah.
really breaking it down,
Uh-huh.
questioning the assumptions,
Yeah.
offering a different perspective.
And that's the kind of leadership that we need more of.
Yes.
Leaders that encourage critical thinking.
Absolutely.
Not just in themselves, but in their teams.
Imagine a workplace where people feel comfortable,
Yeah.
challenging assumptions,
Oh, yeah.
asking tough questions,
Right.
and exploring different viewpoints.
That's where the innovation happens.
Exactly.
So critical thinking is great, but what else?
I would add to that communication, clear and compassionate communication.
So being able to articulate your vision,
Yeah.
actively listen to others,
Mm-hmm.
and provide constructive feedback.
These are all essential skills for any leader,
Yeah.
regardless of their empathy style.
So let's not forget about integrity.
That's a big one.
Yeah, leading with your values, being transparent in your actions, and holding yourself accountable.
Yeah,
I mean, these are all qualities that really build trust
absolutely.
and inspire respect.
It's about walking the walk,
Yeah.
not just talking the talk.
Right, exactly. So I think as we kind of wrap up this part of our deep dive,
Boy.
it's important to emphasize that this article isn't meant to be a condemnation of empathy.
It's not.
It's more of a call to action,
Yeah.
to re-examine our understanding of it
Mm-hmm.
and to challenge the way it's been presented
Mhm.
in these corporate settings.
Yeah, it's like we've been conditioned to think that empathy is like the most important trait for a leader.
Right.
And if you don't have it, you're just not cut out for leadership.
But Ola's pushing back against that.
Yeah, she really is. And I think by doing so, it opens up this conversation about
Yeah.
what it actually takes to be an effective leader,
Right.
especially in today's world.
And an ethical leader, too.
Absolutely. Ethical leadership is so important. We can't just rely on these vague notions of empathy.
Right.
We have to be more critical,
Wow.
more discerning,
Yeah.
and way more intentional about the qualities that we're looking for.
Yeah. In ourselves and the leaders we follow.
Exactly.
So if we're moving away from this narrow focus on empathy as the defining characteristic of good leadership,
right.
What other qualities should we be focusing on?
What are some alternatives?
Yeah, what are some of the things that haven't gotten as much attention?
Well, I think one that often gets overshadowed by the empathy narrative is
Yeah.
fairness.
Oh, that's interesting.
Hmm.
How would you define fairness in the context of leadership?
So in leadership, it's about creating a level playing field
Oh.
for everyone on your team,
Mm-hmm.
making sure that decisions are made objectively,
Mm-hmm.
and that everyone has an equal opportunity to contribute and succeed.
So it's not just about being nice
No,
or trying to please everyone.
not at all.
It's got more teeth to it.
Yeah, fairness is about being impartial,
Okay.
upholding these principles of justice and equity,
Yeah,
even when it's difficult,
right.
even when it's unpopular.
Because sometimes it's not the popular decision to make the fair decision.
Exactly. And it's about making sure that everyone feels seen and heard,
Yes,
respected.
regardless of their background or their position.
Exactly.
So I can see how that would be so essential for building trust,
Oh, yeah.
creating that psychological safety within a team.
Absolutely.
If people feel like they're being treated fairly,
Mhm.
they're going to be more likely to be engaged,
Right.
productive,
Yeah.
and committed to the team's success.
And I think fairness goes hand in hand with transparency.
Okay, tell me more about that.
So transparency in leadership means being open and honest
Okay.
about your decisions, your motivations, even your mistakes. Keeping your team informed,
Yeah.
giving them the context.
So they know what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. When leaders are transparent,
Mm-hmm.
it helps to build trust,
Absolutely.
reduce uncertainty.
Especially in times of change or crisis.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
yeah.
And I think transparency also fosters a sense of accountability.
Oh,
When
yeah.
people know what's going on and why,
Mhm.
they're more likely to hold themselves and each other accountable.
Exactly. It creates this culture of shared responsibility.
Everyone's invested then.
Exactly.
So we've got fairness, transparency, accountability.
Yes.
All of these things are contributing to a leadership style.
That is effective and ethical.
Yeah, it's about doing the right thing even when it's hard,
Mm.
creating a work environment where everyone feels valued and respected.
Absolutely.
So if a listener's out there thinking, okay, this all sounds great,
Yeah.
but how do I actually put this into practice?
All right.
Where do I even begin?
I think the first step is self-reflection. Take some time to really assess your own strengths and weaknesses as a leader. Think about, where do you excel in terms of fairness, transparency, accountability?
Yeah.
Where do you have room for growth?
Right.
Once you have that clear understanding, then you can start to identify specific actions
Okay.
to develop these qualities further.
So recognize that leadership is a journey,
It is.
not a destination.
Absolutely. We're all constantly learning and growing.
Yeah. And there's always room for improvement.
Always.
And I think it's also important to remember that leadership isn't about having all the answers
No,
or being perfect.
not at all.
It's about being willing to learn, be open to feedback,
Yes.
and constantly striving to be better.
Couldn't have said it better myself?
This deep dive has really given me a lot to think about.
Me too.
It's a reminder that leadership is complex,
Mm-hmm.
it's multifaceted, and there's no single formula for success.
And I think Ola's article is a really valuable contribution to this whole conversation about leadership,
Yeah.
especially in today's world.
Where we're being bombarded with these oversimplified narratives and quick fixes
Exactly. It's a call to be more critical, more discerning, and more intentional.
about the qualities we cultivate in ourselves and in the leaders that we choose to follow.
Well said.
It's a reminder that leadership is not about following a script.
No,
It's not about checking off boxes.
it's about being present,
Yeah.
being authentic,
Mhm.
and being committed to creating a work environment where everyone can thrive.
On that note, I think we've reached the end of our deep dive.
I think so.
We hope this has been a thought-provoking exploration of the complexities of empathy and leadership.
As always, remember, leadership is a journey, not a destination.
Keep learning, keep growing, and keep challenging those narratives that shape our world.
And keep diving deep, fellow learners.